everybody? Welcome back to Out of Left Field. I am joined by Payton Gottshall. She is one of the best pitchers that you will see in the game today, former Tennessee Lady Vol, and now playing professionally. Payton, can you just let everybody know what you're up to right now? Because I know you're kind of all over the place from what I've seen with
Yeah.
professional softball.
Yeah. Right now I'm actually home for a little bit and then I leave on Tuesday because I have to go to Mexico. We're doing a preseason training camp, so I'll be there for a week or so and then back home until I leave to go in January.
Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
going to pause you there because what I've realized, and now we're in the game, like around, I'm in
Mhm.
media, and so I know what's going on. A lot of people have no clue
Yeah.
what the life of a professional softball player is like. So when you say,
Mhm.
I'm about to head out to Mexico, but they see you playing in AUSL, they're like, wait, I'm
Mhm.
confused. So if
Yeah.
you were talking to somebody who's like, yo, what the hell? Like, explain it to
Mhm.
me. Can you break it down for them?
Yeah, so because our season is so short in the US, so we only play the summer months, like the 3 months or so. Um, you kind of have to have another job, um, unless like you get to just train or do whatever. I'm kind of lucky in that sense where I don't really have to have like another solid job in a sense.
Yeah.
But I do coach a little bit, and then I also give pitching lessons, but mainly I play. So whenever I'm not with AU during the summer, I'm looking pretty much anywhere that I can go play. Um, I I was in the Netherlands for about 2 or 3 weeks, played there, and that was awesome. And then I was home for literally like 48 hours and then went to Taiwan and that was insane. It was
Yeah.
so much fun. It was so cool, but the travel there cuz I had a layover, so it was like almost 60 hours of traveling and so it was that was rough. But it was so cool to get and go experience Taiwan and their country and kind of like be in their culture. That's my favorite part about going because I'm trying to go to as many countries as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Um, but the main thing for me is I just want to be in their culture. Like when I go there, I don't want them to think, oh, like we have to do everything her way. Like I want everything possible that I can do and experience in
For
their
sure.
ways. Yeah.
No,
But
yeah.
um but yeah, so doing that and then um home for 2 months after training camp and then January to like end of March I play in Mexico. So that season is about like the same length as AU. And then home April and then like middle of May, end of May is when we start training camp for AU. So
Dude, okay. So for the fact that, you're on different teams, there's different seasons, like
mhm,
that is mind blowing. I don't think people
yeah.
understand because you look at professional sports teams,
Mhm,
NFL, NBA, they're with their team all year. You know your
yeah.
schedule, your off season routine, your spring training, your season, like you're in the flow with the
Mhm,
same people. Y'all. She is her and many, many other professional softball
mhm,
players are hopping from team to team, country to
mhm,
country. Like it's insane just to continue to play the sport that you love.
yeah.
So I always say this, but y'all deserve so many flowers because, like you just said, the 60 hours of traveling on top of being a professional athlete, having to stay in physical shape. I can't. Anyway, that's incredible though.
Yeah.
I do want to break it down a little bit. Like, how do you get involved with Mexico, or like, how are you playing in the Netherlands? Like, are you signing? Like,
Mhm.
what does that process look like?
So it kind of depends who you know.
Yeah,
And I know that's like a big thing, like for kind of any industry, but I feel like sports, it's even more so because, like, when I went to Taiwan, Sid McKinney, who played on the Bandits, she was the one who reached out to me and she was like, "Hey, would you want to come and pitch?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, are you kidding me? Like, of course I want to come out there. Um, but then like Mexico, it was kind of the same thing. Maddie Husky, who had played in AU before, she just DM'd me and she was like, "Hey, like, would you want to come play?" and she's like, I can send you all the information, like get you talking to our like general manager. And I was like, yeah, like I was like, I would
Yes.
love to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but and then the Netherlands, one of my friends while I was at Tennessee, one of my teammates there, she played on Ireland's national team,
Okay.
and one of her teammates had played with a team in Germany. So they had asked me to come out and play for like the European Cup, and so it was only 2 weeks. So I got to go out to Germany for 1 week and we practiced, and then we drove to Italy. So we got to go through Switzerland, which was insane. But so we drove to Italy and played there for the week, and we played against a team that I played with in the Netherlands.
Holy,
So
this is travel ball on
uh
steroids. It
yeah,
is travel ball on steroids. That is
uh
crazy.
yeah,
Wow. What's been when you look, because it's a lot, right? I'm sure.
yeah.
When you look at all the traveling and the playing with different teams and stuff, what's been your favorite maybe country or team to play with in that sense?
I mean, I've loved them all, but I think Mexico honestly because we're in our city, so we see the same fans, and they're truly ride or die down there. And I love our fans in Monterrey. Like it, it's unlike anything else that I've really experienced, and because we get to play in their like baseball stadiums, so
Oh,
yeah, so they just kind of like put the fence up in the outfield for us, and then they like will pack the stands. So like our stadium, I think, is the biggest out of all the ones there, and just the amount of people that come out and support us, like it's unmatched. And the cheers, everything, like it literally is just on a whole nother level. And it was kind of like similar to when we were played in Round Rock this year with the Bolts, and that's what it felt like. And I just,
wow.
ugh, it's unlike anything else.
I've heard that from a lot of professional softball and baseball players that
Mhm.
play out of the country or overseas or whatever
Yeah.
it is. The fan bases are ride or die. Like people get behind the team and behind the
Hmm.
sport. And I think what's exciting is as we're talking about, we'll get into what was announced yesterday with the
Yeah.
AUSL and ESPN because what, but you guys are gonna have city-based teams coming
Hmm.
this next season, if I'm correct. But
Yeah.
that's gonna be I've had this conversation so many times, and I'm sure y'all are excited for it,
Hmm.
just to be able to have a fan base and see the
Hmm.
same fans and, build that camaraderie and the community, I think is gonna be huge for the sport. So it's funny that you say that's
Yeah.
been a part of your favorite time, like, your favorite
Hmm.
part in Mexico was
Yeah.
the community that's there, and that's on the horizon for
Hmm.
the United States. I just teased it. Everybody, in case you didn't know, ESPN signed a 3-year deal with AU yesterday to put, I believe, 50 games
Hmm.
on ESPN. It's 47 regular season. The championship series is on ABC. Y'all, that is the
Woo!
first professional softball game ever to be televised on national television. Are you kidding me? How,
Hmm.
first off, reaction to that. Like, I'm sure you knew it was coming, but like,
It was insane. Like just to have the support and like finally get there with professional softball, like it's like I don't really have words for it because it's just so cool to see, and it's finally like everybody before us that had worked so hard to get this to where it is, it's finally
mm,
paying off for them.
yeah.
But I did tell my parents, I was like, okay, now we really got to make it to the championship because we got to be on ABC.
You're right. There's a little bit more incentive to
Uh-huh.
make it to that champion. Not that you weren't trying before, but now
Yeah.
it's on national television. You know,
Hmm.
but you were in AUSL 2024 is when you were drafted, correct?
Yes.
And then you were a part of this inaugural season with Kim
Hmm.
Eng and all the changes that they made. What is your perspective coming from that 2024 season, going through all of the transitions that they were making for the league, and then seeing that, hey, we performed and got enough viewership, enough engagement, enough numbers, because,
Hmm.
that's where the money is, that they've decided, ESPN said, hey, we're validating y'all. Y'all deserve to be on TV. Like, for you personally to go from 2024 to 2025, what's that shift like?
It's again, like, it's just insane because, like, they still had some things aired on ESPN, but it's never been like what it is, like it's going to be now.
Yeah,
But just being able to see it grow just in that short amount of time, like, it feels amazing because we know everybody has tried so long to get a league that stays and one that sticks and people follow and help grow. And then
mhm,
now everything that they've done just in the 2 years that I've played with them, it's insane. Like, because you finally feel like, okay, I can actually see myself making a lifelong career out of this and not just play for a couple of years and then also have to be worried about another job. Like, the plan for this is they want it to be where we don't have another job. And you can see they're doing everything right and they're setting up all the little pieces for that to happen. So it's just almost like relieving in a way because they're holding up on everything that they've told us and everything that they've said they were going to do. And a lot of people, like, obviously I didn't have to experience it, thankfully, but a lot of people have said that's what issues have been in the past with other leagues is they try to get something going and then it kind of falls through, and then finally, like, we have something that is set and they're
yeah,
continuing to grow it and they're doing all the right things with it.
yeah, and I've gotten to experience working with, some of the higher ups with the
Mhm.
league, and I can't I've, touched a lot of different organizations, different sports. This was the first time that I felt like everybody was pulling on the same end of the rope. Like the goal was to grow the game, to,
Mhm.
put it on a stage where it belongs. And everybody had the same mission, even for a media member. And I'll be honest, not everybody loves the media. Like,
Mhm.
it's a good and bad. But I was treated like, what do you need? How can we help you to help
Mhm.
us? Like it was a partnership. And I saw that with the way that they treated y'all, the way they
Yeah.
followed through on everything they said they were going to
Mhm.
do, and I'm on the outside. So to hear that from you, who is in it day to day, like
Mhm.
again, it just speaks to the character of the people who are in
Mhm.
charge and the mission behind growing the game.
Yeah.
And I just got to talk. I talked to Aubrey Leach a couple times. You're
Mhm.
very familiar with Aubrey. She is
Oh,
wonderful.
yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's one of my favorites. She's incredible. She's on the player exec board. I
Mhm.
think that's another part that people kind of don't even realize is so vital to the way that this league grows and stays healthy and
Mhm.
connected. Just having players' voices really be a part of the decision making and the strategy to get this game to be bigger,
Mhm.
is a huge part. At least from what I've heard and
Yeah.
from my perspectives from talking to people.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying they do a great job. Like, even last year, I remember I just got done, like, because I was giving lessons, and Kim and Sam and Aubrey, I think, were like, just those three were on a call with me, and they just wanted to know, like, my perspective on things. They're like, hey, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What can we do better here? But they did that with anybody who was willing and wanted to, and just have your commissioner take her time and then want to know, like, your thoughts and your opinions on stuff, like, that's just, it's so cool to me because you don't really see that, and, like, not a lot of other commissioners are going to be sitting down individually with players and wanting to hear their opinions and then put that into how they go about making decisions. So I think
Wow.
just everything with the AUSL, it's just completely unmatched to any other league, in my opinion.
That made me really happy just to hear you say that they sat
Mhm.
down individually one on one, because no, you don't see
Mhm.
that in a lot of other leagues. In
Yeah.
fact, you see a lot of tension between the players
Mhm.
association and the league, and they're negotiating on how to meet in the middle. But to turn around and say, hey, you play, what do you think?
Mhm.
Whoa, like
Yeah.
the respect level is, and I and I'll say it, I think that's a note that other leagues that are more established
Mhm.
should take from the AUSL. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that should be implemented into every
Mhm.
league, for every sport.
Mhm.
Um, I do wanna rewind back to college because we were kinda just talking about a transition between 2024 and 2025 seasons with the AUSL. But I want to talk about transferring from Bowling Green to Tennessee and what that was like because with the portal and NIL,
Mhm.
that is a hot topic, right? That's
Oh yeah.
become more and more common for transferring. And I feel like it could be maybe a little overwhelming. Maybe you're unsure of the process. So, like, what was that process like for you? And what really went into that decision?
It was definitely scary.
Mm.
Because I wasn't planning on leaving at the end of our season. And then my coach at Bowling Green had sat down with me and she's like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna take another job because it worked out better family wise for her because she's at Bradley now, which is where her husband is from, like in that area. So she was like, "Hey, like I just wanted to like talk to you. That way you kind of can think about what you want to do because we were really close. Like I would say we're more friends than it really was like a coach and player relationship because we just really respected each other and I don't know, I love her. Um, but so it was definitely hard to kind of think about that then because I'm like, okay, I loved her and I loved the school, but everything else it just wasn't matching up with what I wanted then. Um, because we had made the MAC tournament, which we hadn't done, and there wasn't a ton of support for us, and it just felt like a lot of the players as well didn't really care. And I felt like I had accomplished everything that I wanted to other than winning a championship there. And so I was like, okay.
I'm gonna pause you right there because you just rolled over that. Please, and I'm asking you to brag on yourself right now. Please list off those accomplishments that you just passed over.
Um, I was 2022 MAC Pitcher of the Year, 2021 MAC Freshman Pitcher of the Year. I set the single season strikeout record multiple
Uh-huh.
times, career strikeout record, um,
Yeah,
other records there. But so yeah, so I was like, okay, individually,
yeah.
I'm pretty good. So what do I want more? And I was like, I want to win a championship. I want to see if I can go to the World Series. I want to just see where I can push myself and how far I can possibly go with this. And so I entered the portal and my parents were like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Like cuz what happens if you wouldn't get picked up? And I'm like, "Well, I don't know." I was like, "But I would regret it if I didn't take that leap."
For
And
sure.
they were like, "Okay, like if this is what you want, like we're all in with you and we're going to be here for it." And I'm like, "Okay, that's all I need." And went, did it, put myself in the portal, and then because I think I had to wait like the weekend or something for it to actually like go in. So very stressful. Um
I was gonna say.
yeah, but so then Monday morning, I think as soon as like I went in, just phone calls and everything started coming in, like texts, emails, and I looked at my parents, I was like, this is crazy. Like I did not expect that whatsoever. I was like maybe like a couple. And then the thing that got me and I kind of felt bad, Karen had called me and I was like freaking out about it. I'm like, no way that's her. And so I didn't answer. Um,
Yeah,
I didn't
what?
answer it. I let it go through
No way.
and I was
No way.
like, okay, I'll call her back. Um, but yeah, I was like too scared to talk
Does
to her at the
she
time.
know
So I'm
that
like,
now?
no.
Have you ever told her?
But so
Oh
sorry,
my
Karen.
gosh.
Um,
Oh my
but
gosh.
yeah, so I was like, I was too scared to answer it when I saw it go through, and I'm like, because we played them my freshman year when I was at Bowling Green, and like we lost, and I was like, oh no way, like no way, like that's even gonna be a thing, and like I did pitch well, like I think it was like I don't know, she knows the stats from that because she brought it up, but I pitched pretty well, I guess. And so then when I did end up talking to her, she's like, "Yeah, I've been waiting for you to ever drop your name." And I'm like, "No, you haven't. No, you haven't." But But so we like scheduled my visit as soon as I could because we had to wait until the World Series was over. So literally
Mhm.
the next day, my dad and I drove down and went on my visit, and I literally just fell in love with the like with just with Knoxville, with the program, with them as my coaches, and just like the whole environment. And I mean, you were there for yourself. Like it's hard not to love Rocky Top. And
Look, I am an LSU fan through and through, born and raised in New Orleans. But when I went there last week, I walked out and I made a video. I was like, this place is different.
Mhm.
And even talking to Carlin, and you were so great, just like engaging with everything we were posting. But she talked a lot about the team culture there too.
Mhm.
And like, I felt it. I was there for an
Yeah.
hour and a half, maybe. And it was like, I was like, oh, I'm impressed. I hate to say that,
Mhm.
but I'm impressed.
But I loved everything about it, and they even had camps and stuff going on, but they still like took time away from it, and they're like, hey, like we want to make sure like we're involved with you. And she even had me go out during their camp, like because they had nobody on the field, and she like walked out with me and had me stand on the mound. And that's kind of when it hit me, and I'm like, there's no other school that I want to go to. Like I didn't even need any other visits. I had stuff lined up, but I'm like, I don't want to go on any of them. And my mom was kind of mad because she was like, you better not go down there and just commit on the spot. And so I called her when we got back to the hotel that night, and I'm like, I did it.
I did exactly what you told me not
Yep.
to.
And she's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I did.
No, I did.
It's happening. I was like, I'm going to Knoxville.
Oh my god, I bet she
Yeah.
was livid.
Yeah.
But to your point, if you know, you know. And I know that's such a trite saying, but like
Yeah.
for her to walk you out on the mound, like in the middle of a camp, and like really let
Hmm.
you feel what it's gonna be like to play there, you felt it, and it was that you
Yeah.
don't need to go to another
No.
any other visits. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Talk to me a little bit about like the team culture. Like I'm again doing my research, right? And
hmm
I came across the video for your 1,000th strikeout and
hmm
like just seeing the way that your team kind of like,
hmm
support and that's common in softball, but to
yeah.
see your team, like be so excited. And again, I just talked
hmm
to Carlin about when she hit the velo record and how the team was more excited than she was. So just talk to me about that team aspect that Tennessee has.
It's like unlike anything that I've really experienced in my career leading up to college. And even while I was at Bowling Green, I didn't really have that there either. So it was just so different, and it was so like it just felt like a family. And because you're working with them every single day, like you see what it takes and you push each other, like you're there. Like we do the program, which if you know what the program is, I'm sorry for you.
For people
But
that don't know, can you explain what that is?
yeah, so these guys come in, I can't remember if it was like military or what, but it's literally 2 days of hell. And the
It's
nicest way
boot
of
camp.
putting it, and the nicest way of putting it, literally 2 days of hell. But like you literally are pushed like to your physical limits in that, and like you're digging deep mentally, physically, like in every way possible. You have to push through, and there was times like where you have to lean on each other, and it really shows like if you're gonna be a good team or not, because can I rely on you just in this moment? And then if no, then why am I going to play for you? Or how are
Yeah.
we going to be able to play together? But when we did that, every single person was all in. And you never had to worry, how are we going to complete this? Because somebody was going to step up. And it could be somebody like you least expect, like the quietest person on the team. And they're going to be like, hey, like, I got this. I'm going to take over. I'm going to lead you through this. And it's just so insane because I think that just sets up the culture, because you're really seeing how everybody's going to react under pressure, and then it directly correlates to a game like situation. um Definitely I did not like it going through it, but definitely better for it afterwards. But that's just like a big thing that they do and they put you through, because you have to be able to rely on each other and not think that you have to take it all on yourself, because you don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing of what Karen promotes as a coach is you're never alone in anything, and you always have each person, and she always says like you look to the person to your left and your right. And that's so true because everybody is there for you and everybody wants the best for you,
Yep.
and it's just such a cool dynamic to be a part of.
Is there a specific moment during your career at Tennessee where that training, the program, and we're laughing about it, but it is legit,
Mhm,
where that showed up in the season when, you needed to rely on each
mhm.
other? Like, is there a specific moment that paid off during the season that you remember?
I think really just every game, honestly, because you're out there, you're competing against the best of the best, and there's times where you don't have it, and somebody else is going to step up for you. So you may feel like you're physically worn out, and then the next thing you know, somebody's going to be there and they're going to be in your ear, pushing you to do more.
Mhm.
And that's what the program was, is like you're going to be there and you're going to be pushing each other, not just the guys running it are pushing you, but you're going to push each other because everything that you thought you could do, you can do so much more, and you're going to be able to pull it out of your teammates.
Yeah.
And I think just going in every single game, every single lift, even, and even in the classroom, like everybody's like, no, like I think you could do this a little bit better. And like we would read over each other's like papers or like homework and stuff and go over projects together. Like we would have like in our team room, like we would do presentations sometimes. Like people would have their presentations and need to record themselves going over it. And so like 10 of us would stay afterwards and they would just go over it and do it and then have it done. And
Wow.
so like it literally correlates in every single aspect, not even softball wise, but life. So for
Yeah.
me, like I'll still see like I'm still doing that even with my parents. I'm like, hey, like you're having a rough day, like I can come out, like I'll make dinner for you. And like just doing like the little things because that's what they had taught us there. But
When Allie told me that I needed to talk to you, she said, like, "She's such a great teammate. She's such a great teammate." And just hearing you say that, it proves her point. Not that I doubted it, but I mean,
mhm,
just to hear you say the accountability and not just, game situations or practice situations, but everywhere in school,
mhm,
at home. That is such a big, um benefit or characteristic to have
mhm,
as a professional athlete and even as a regular person. Like
yeah.
that's something that and a lot of why I wanted to start this podcast was obviously to grow the game, but it was to
Mhm,
give the younger generation like a conversation that they can look at and
mhm,
get better from. We
yeah.
didn't have that representation when I
Mhm,
was young, when I was 12, 14. Like there was nothing to look up. I mean, wait, hold on. There was definitely stuff to look up to. I mean, you had Team USA, Jenny Finch, but when I say
mhm,
that, I mean the media and the conversations and the real, honest things that we talk about right now and the things that we're talking about in this moment. I think
mhm,
it's important that this next generation hears that coming from some of the best, like
mhm,
hold your teammates accountable, be a good teammate.
yeah.
That's just as important as the numbers and the ERA and the batting average and the awards, like if not more important. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad you said that, honestly. Um, if and I this is where I kind of round out. I've held you for 30 minutes already.
Yeah.
Um, if you were to look at that younger generation, if they're sitting here watching this, what is one thing that you hope that they take with them on their journey to whether it's college softball or professional softball?
Um, don't really lose sight of who you are. Um, but don't put the athlete over the person. I kind of talked about this while I was at Tennessee. It's easy to get wrapped up in the stats, your performance, everything like that. And I did for a while when I was there. Like my first year after I transferred in, I didn't do well my first like 3 or 4 weekends in SEC play because I was so like in my head about it. I'm like, am I living up to the hype? Like, am I performing at a certain standard? Like, and I was just like really just dragging myself down. And I had to have a conversation with Karen and I'm like, hey, like, what am I doing? And she's like, you're not doing anything physically. She was like, it's all mentally. She's like, you're here for a reason. We wouldn't have had you come here if we didn't think you could pitch in these games and win us games. And after that, like everything just clicked. And I was like, okay, why am I holding myself back? Because I'm a very loud person. I show all my emotions when I'm pitching, and I literally just leave everything out there. And I was like, why am I not doing that? Why am I letting myself hold back? And so then I think it was like Florida that we played the next week, and I had gone into every single game and I had saved every single game. And like just allowing myself to play freely and then remember who I am and what I do when I play, it just everything was so much freer. And I think that's just a big thing is like don't get yourself so wrapped up into who you are as a player, but it's more about who you are as a person. And your coaches, like, they're not really, they shouldn't care about who you are as a player more than who you are as a person. And so I think just hearing that from Karen too, like, I was like, okay, like, she really doesn't care about that. So why am
Mhm.
I putting so much weight into that over how I treat people and how I go about what I do and show that I love what I do. And
Mhm.
I've never gone back to that space since. And I feel like even this summer, it was so easy to kind of do that with how we kept losing with the Bolts. Like,
Well, yeah.
it's kind of like it's easy to get into that because it's like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like
Yep.
sometimes it's just not going to go your way. So as long as you're staying true to who you are as a player, who you are as a person, and you're doing everything right, it's going to come through. And you're not going to see it right away, but you'll see it and you'll hear it from the people around you with
Yep.
how you go about who you are.
Yep. The results should not dictate how you show up. Correct.
Yeah.
You guys give me the best. Like, I'm taking notes as like just a 25-year-old trying to build a business. I'm like, oh, good. Like, I have a little notebook that I just write everything down. You are awesome. This was awesome. I just heard some great stories that I can't wait to put out there, especially when Karen sees that you declined her phone call
Oh no.
after you answered. She won't see it. It's fine. Oh, wait. I do have one more for you. Again, doing my research. This is going to be a silly one, but I need to hear it from you. Is water wet?
No. No.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
will die on that hill. Water is
Okay, so
not wet.
the vaults, for the context, guys, the vaults posted a video of her and a few other players, Sam, Michaela, talking about whether water was wet. And I locked in and it had me like I'm like,
Uh-huh.
wait. And then the funny thing is, before I got to the end of the video, I went to Chat GPT and I'm like, is water wet? And then sure enough, you turn around and you realize Chat GPT,
Yep.
it's not wet. So y'all heard it.
But
Payton confirmed it for us.
I
Water is
did
not
get
wet.
roasted though because people were like, "Why she think Chat GPT has the answers?" I don't.
Oh,
It was just a source. I gotta
but
put that out there.
also, if you tell it to like fact check and do research, it'll give you
Mhm.
the right answer. You are, yeah,
Exactly.
you're right. I'll be honest, I thought it was wet before I watched that video and asked ChatGPT. So you got me. But again, you were
Perfect.
incredible. I'm so excited to put this out there. I think a lot of people are gonna benefit just from hearing you talk to me about your experience and giving advice to the next generation because that's really what we're doing, right?
Hmm.
All right.
Building it all for them.
Oh yes, oh yes. All right, y'all follow Peyton on Instagram at pgot, right? P dot
Mhm.
got. Isn't that your nickname? Pgot?
Yeah, Pigot.
Yeah. I think when Allie told me that, she's like, you gotta talk to Pgot. I was like, you need to I'm not in the
Who is that?
yeah,
Who is
you
that?
gotta explain a little bit more. All right, yeah, y'all follow her. She's doing some great stuff. Again, she's heading to Mexico. She's all over the place, but she's really a big part of the AUSL as well. I appreciate you for chatting with me today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.